So today I had a chance to check out the Nissan Micra. Actually, I'm not sure how it's supposed to be pronounced, but I'll just go with Micra because that's how I'm used to pronouncing it. And so here it is, guys. Nissan Micra. Wonderful design. It's very good. And then also, it looks very interesting. Now, I have to tell you all that the Nissan Micra is the sibling model of the Renault Clio. So that's why it has a lot in common with the Renault Clio. The dimensions are not very different. It's actually very similar to the Renault Clio. Similar part sourcing. Now, the reason I'm saying this to you all is that you all should know by now that Renault and Nissan have an alliance. So it comes as no surprise that there's part sourcing and a lot of aspects that look alike each other. First generation Nissan Micra was horrible. It looked like a typical Japanese K car. Those small Japanese cars, which they don't even sell here in Belgium, but they used to sell it here like back in the 90s, I'm sure. Even Daihatsu used to be here in Europe. It looks like a shrunken version of the Nissan Juke. That was like one of the first impression I had when I first saw this Nissan Micra. It looks like a shrunken version of the Juke or the Nissan Qashqai. If you see, this is a typical Nissan identity. I know Nissan likes to play very fancy with their rear lights. And now Nissan has developed an obsession for rear doors like this, but I'll come to that later. In fact, this is Nissan Renault, by the way. Then the side view, guys, very nice, very aerodynamic. In fact, I've noticed that Renault and Nissan, they've played it very aerodynamic. They've played it round edge, whereas the German competitors like the Volkswagen group, like Volkswagen Polo and the Skoda Fabia, they like to play it, you know, like the window is steeper and the bonnet is more horizontal. That's how the German competitors are mainly. Whereas the Toyota Yaris is also similar to this, to like the Nissan Micra. The Japanese, they like to make their B segment cars very aerodynamic. One thing I have to remark about the Nissan Micra, and I can confirm definitely, this car is very city friendly, just like every other B segment car. The point of a B segment car is not for family friendliness. So that's why whenever I review a B segment car, I don't really expect practicality to be top notch, okay? I don't expect much from practicality, but if there is practicality, that's a bonus. That's very good. But if there isn't, let it be. It's fine. But what I do expect is desirability, good equipment, equally meaning good value for money, and also I expect a good performance, a good drive. Something about the door feels a bit heavier compared to other Nissan cars, because I know Nissan cars generally have a very lightweight door and they have a like sort of cheaper or lighter sound when you open and close their doors. That's mainly with the Qashqai, the Juke, the Navara, and also the Nissan Ariya from what I saw recently. But it seems like for the Nissan Micra, the door is it's a bit heavier. It's a bit like a Renault Clio. So some questionable aspects I'd like to remark is that Renault and Nissan found it tolerant or okay to just have a rear door like this. Now, in terms of aesthetics, it looks nice. It gives it a rather coupe look, guys. But in terms of practicality, it's not very handy, because a few times I had shopping in my hand and I could not open this door properly. I had to do it like this, you know, and that too, it's so short. It's like I'm always worried I'm going to lose grip like this. See, I can easily lose grip. It doesn't have a good grip, and then secondly, this part sticks out so proudly that it always it always made contact with my stomach. So I have to constantly watch out every time I open this door, guys. Something about the rear door doesn't seem it seems a bit like an afterthought. Alright guys, now over to the interior. Alright guys, so visibility outside is very, very good. In fact, that is actually one of the advantages of Nissan Renault cars. And I've noticed this with Renault in particular. They are very they're obsessed with outside visibility. They have like one of the best visibilities ever. So it's very good. I have no complaints about visibility. When I drove this Nissan Micra, it feels very much like driving a Renault car. So I've noticed the engine makes a more Renault-ish sound. It doesn't really sound like a Nissan, or maybe it's a Renault Nissan engine. I'm not sure, guys. But I wouldn't be surprised. and also the suspension was interesting. The suspension was a bit on the soft side. So, lovely interior, guys. Nissan did a very good job with this interior. Well, Nissan Renault. I'm not sure if the Renault Clio has a similar interior like this, but I know that this is definitely a Nissan Renault trait. They always put their air conditioning right above everything else. And this is real fabric right here, so that's quite a pleasant surprise. As for the rest of the interior, it kind of reminds me of what I saw in the Nissan Qashqai. So it's I'm assuming directly that this is another Renault Nissan trait. Very good. Very good. And practicality is actually surprisingly good in this Nissan Micra interior. It's as good as it has to be for a B-segment car, but it's a little bit more than I expected. Like, for example, this storage area right here is so good. Literally, it's very good. 12-volt socket, USB points, cup holders, and another cup holder right there. Wow. And then over here you get this nice door bin that can hold a big bottle, but I'm not sure if it can really because there's this plastic that's obstructing. And then a little storage space down there. And then this is the lever to open your fuel cap and the bonnet. Alright guys, so this car is actually better than I thought, and this comes back to a point which I used to emphasize before. The French, they do the best small cars in the automotive industry, and I'm saying best with a lot of passion because they grew from small cars. They were born from small cars. This is the case with Peugeot and Citroën, but with Renault, the Clio had a very big name, but the only thing is that the Clio doesn't have the reliability on its side. Is this the case for the Nissan Micra? I'm going to laugh if there is a difference in reliability between the two brands, but there is actually sort of, because with Nissan you get a longer warranty and a reliable service. Whereas with Renault, I did hear some stories about their customer service, but the veracity, you all be the judge. You all have your own experiences with your own Nissan dealers, and I'm sure it depends on which dealer. I'm very sure that there are Renault dealers which are professional, which are out there to help their customers, obviously. Every brand can have dealerships which are amazing, and every brand can have dealerships which are not good. I'm impressed. So just the only questionable aspect I like to remark really would be the rear. Like, it seems like whoever designed this car was driver-centric. They clearly thought a lot about the front seats. The front seats looks like the most appealing part. The rear door, like for example, I still can't get over how difficult it is to open the rear door, all because Renault or Nissan or whoever was responsible for that door handle at the back, clearly, like, they prioritized aesthetics over practicality. You know, like, because at one point, a few times I had shopping in my hand and I wanted to open that rear door and I just couldn't, and the door handle doesn't have the grip, so... Another questionable aspect I'd like to remark, guys, is that with this Nissan Micra, you have to be careful with the quality, because I'm just leaning my leg gently onto this, but this bit of the trim keeps moving every time I do so. Every time I lean my leg onto this, this entire area moves. Alright guys, so the question to ask yourselves, should you get a Nissan Micra? You know what? I actually think this is a car which you should check out. You definitely should check out this car, guys. It really seems like a good car. Now, I usually talk about value for money. I talk about prices, but the thing is, I don't really know the price of this particular Nissan Micra, but I know that their starting price starts at like, give or take 15,000 euros or even more than that, you know. That's like their starting price, but that's the average starting price of a B segment car in today's generation. So, yeah. But, you know, to me, it looked like it was well equipped, and you even get air conditioning, guys. Wow. I mean, you guys even get air conditioning, climate control, which is very good. And the reason I'm pointing this out is because some brands don't even give you air conditioning for plain cheap. Another questionable aspect I'd like to remark, guys, is that the steering wheel is colossal. Like, it looks like the same steering wheel I've seen on the Nissan Qashqai. I just think to myself, do you really need a steering wheel of this size? No, you don't. I mean, I think a smaller steering wheel would have been better because this is too big, guys. Too big. It's a bit, it's like almost unwieldy, and also to hold on to it, it's a bit on the wider side. Alright guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run. Please let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite B segment car? Is it the Volkswagen Polo, Toyota Yaris, Or is it the Nissan Micra? Or is it the Renault Clio? Let me know in the comment, guys, what you all think. And please check the links in the description for my car reviews, travel videos, and my creativity videos. Okay, bye!